Let's close out on what is a serious subject, but something I think we absolutely have to get into, and that is the Delonte West situation. I'm sure as you guys have seen, those listening have probably seen it, the video on Twitter that emerged yesterday of him sort of getting beat up in the street and then arrested afterwards, and clearly looking like he's troubled. He's very troubled, and he hasn't played in the NBA since 2012. He was diagnosed bipolar, and I believe 2007, 2008, and it has created issues for him, whether in the league or out of the league. And he obviously looks like he's in a pretty terrible situation right now. You guys both played with him. Perk, I'll start with you. What was your first thoughts on the situation when you saw what Delonte was going through?
Well, first of all, man, that hurt my soul, man, because Scal know, like, although D West, we all have flaws, man. We all have, like, you know, this 20% about us that people could say negative shit, right? But like, far as D West, far as my opinion, man, this dude was a good dude to be around. Um, he always was a good person to me personally. And when I saw that, man, it hurt my soul to just to see that video, which I already knew his situation from the jump. But what people do have to realize is this, right? That D West needs help, right? That's the obvious. He needs help, right? We see that. We know this. He needs help. That's nothing to hide. Is everybody knows
Mm-hmm.
this. But on the flip side of it, man, it's hard to get D West help right now, bro, because like I talked to his family a couple of times. They don't know what to do. Like, you know, it's people that done seen him in Dallas. He really rejects people. Like, it's almost like he want to be this way. Like, that's the hard thing about the situation that people don't even realize. It's not like people from the NBA or his former teammates haven't tried to help him, bro. It's like it's almost like he's too far gone to the point where if you're going to help him, you have to go with a whole institution and y'all have to put him in a straight jacket and tie him up and just bring him and say, hey, you know what? Nah, you coming with us. But like far as the individual going and you trying to go talk to D West and thinking you about to go sit down and pull up on them and find them and say, nah, come get in the car, that's not about to happen.
Wow. That's interesting that you brought that up because I kind of was down on the NBA, like the Players Association, and saying they all talk about mental health and they talk about how people, we talk about people need help and everyone claims, oh man, I got mental health issues or whatever it may be. Like D West got real issues. And why, like, can the union help him out? Like, wouldn't this be a great like story for the union to show that they don't turn their back on their players? And I get it, man. There's probably a lot of NBA players that need help, but D West, if the NBA union somehow figured out a way to do what they need to do to help him, it would really shine a bright light. And I'm not saying there's a dark light over the union. I'm not at all. But it would really shine a bright light on the union and how they care for the former player. Because, but if D West is not willing to, is not open minded to help, like if he doesn't feel like he needs help, if he wants to live this life, then you're right, Perk. There's really nothing you could do about it.
But
Well,
but Scal, to your point, real quick, Ceruti, I agree with you because the union, the NBA could contact Delonte West mother, and they could go and find D West and do the needed action that needed to be taken to help this guy. Like we're not gonna just brush that under the rug. Like this is the problem that I have with the NBA, right? That I've had with the NBA for a long time. They do well in the communities and stuff like that when it's far when it comes to dealing with others outside of basketball. But when it comes to dealing with your own, that's where I have a problem with the NBA because it's a lot of players, former players that's out there that's doing bad, man. And like, you know, in my mind, the way I feel about the NBA right now is that when they're done with you, they're done with you. Like it's like always like when you're retired, you know, they have ways where you could go into media and coaching, but what if you're not that guy? What if you need help in other aspects of life? Like, you know what I'm saying? And right now, this would be a great story, and this would actually make the NBA look great if they was to take action and go and help D West.
And then
I agree.
if he could like get back to functioning adult, now he should be the one talking to people and explaining. how he lost it and how he came back. Not like, some psychologists that have no idea what it's like to grow up the way D West grew up and to go through the NBA the way that he went through the NBA. Some guy, so yeah, man, I feel like it's a great moment, but Perk, he's gotta want help. And when you started talking, I thought back to D West. It's almost like he's prideful and doesn't want anybody's help. It sounds like that. It sounds like he's he's too prideful to ask for help. If he's saying he's not gonna take anybody's help, he's got to want to be helped.
No, but Scal Ceruti, it's past pride now. Like, it's not even about pride. Like, this guy's mind is gone. Like, the drugs, the crack, everything has really taken over this guy's mind. Like, he's not even, I don't even know if he think he's D West at this moment. You see what I'm saying? So he's not even in his right mind. It has nothing to do with pride. It has nothing to, that's not even the issue. It's like, mentally, this guy is really gone. Like
he knows, if you walked up to him, he would know, hey, what up, Perk, or not?
It all depends if you catch him at the right time.
Well, the NBA and the NBAPA a couple years ago, just for clarity too, I mean, they have funded new health insurance plan, education, career development programs, and increased pension benefits for retired NBA players. And that doesn't mean that that's doing everything. That doesn't mean that they're going out and helping everyone, giving them all the care and attention that they need. When you played with him, what was he like as a player? I mean, was it, we obviously know he's had some issues, he's been suspended a few times, but he seemed to be a generally liked teammate. Like, what, shed some light on what he was like when you were playing with him in Boston?
Hell yeah, D West was cool, man, and I think Scal could agree to this. Like, he was great, man. Like, as a teammate wise, like, it's a guy that you want to go to war with. It's a guy that you knew he had your back. Like, it wasn't even no question. Now, do we know it was some mental issues there at the time? Hell yeah, because he had some episodes that was occurring. I mean, this started in college. Like, D West had a history in college, so like, we just didn't back then when we was on the team with D West. Mental health wasn't a factor then. Like, it wasn't brought to the light, so a guy couldn't really address it. You know what I'm saying? The NBA wasn't addressing it. Like, we didn't have those resources that players have today.
He was Ceruti. If you want to win games, like, you want him on your team. And he was about winning. He wasn't about D West. He was about winning. And he loved his teammates, man. I loved him, man. I loved him. He would run through a brick wall. And people say that, no, but literally, he would run through a brick wall to win you a game.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember, my first exposure to him was the St. Joe's days with him and Jameer Nelson, and they were just a fun tandem to watch. You can clearly tell that this guy just cared and was really passionate about it, and we can only wish the best. I mean, obviously, the NBA, I imagine they'll try to do something and try to figure something out. We just hope that something can be figured out to get him sort of back to, just back to some sort of normalcy, because I do think you're right, Scal. It would be a really great redemption story if the NBA can do something, step in here, and he can sort of teach and educate people going forward. We're going through similar struggles that he's going through. So all of our, obviously, thoughts and wishes are out to he and his family right now. That what is obviously a really sad and difficult time.